Well, look at that. We're up already. What do you know? I'm just going to share this out. I'll be right back. Okay. Here we go. I think we're up and synced and all that sort of good fun stuff. Looks like I've got a couple of people in, so welcome to the big board, all that sort of BS. If you clicked on the link, you probably know what's going on. So we're going to play a little bit of live gameplay here. Fairly straightforward system, Ukraine 44. It comes out of the Special Ops magazine Winter 2012 edition. So amazingly, I bought this game, inadvertently sold it without playing it, and then sold it again. Then had to repurchase it, and it's now 2018. So that was 6 years ago, and I'm now just getting to it. It's one of the reasons why I like to try and jump on a game pretty quickly when it gets in the house, but unfortunately, sometimes stuff gets away from us. Okay, so welcome. Let's get after it, and let's do the German turn. We've done supply. I think I've covered everybody. I think everyone has the appropriate markers in place for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so he's now back in supply. This guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He is actually back in supply. I think that's everybody. We'll look at the rest of the map in a second. So the real straightforward system. I'm just going to play, and then I'll try and explain a little bit as we go along, and we'll take care of things from there. And hopefully you'll be able to follow along. We have this German turn, and then the game ends on turn 12. And we're on turn 8 right now. And it's set in 1944 in the Ukraine, and we're really trying to preserve as many units on the northern, let's call it the northern side. Yeah, the northern side of the Dniester River here. And we got some big gaping holes. Things are falling apart. And this is a highly attritional combat system. So assuming we do some live session on the Soviets, I'll show you what I think I'm going to do with the Soviets, because I've totally foobarred their gameplay up over here, and it's been very expensive and kind of dumb. I don't know what I was thinking. So we're just going to play. So the first thing we're going to do is elect to either move or fight first, and we're going to move first. So we are actually going to conduct a combat here, though. And, well, maybe I don't even want to do that. And these are all supposed to be face down, by the way. It's all hidden combat, hidden movement, but hey, we're rolling solo here. I don't think we do want to do a combat there. We nicked this guy and softened him up a little bit. I do want to move here. Actually, 2, 4 to there. I can't get into that hex, but I can move to here and attack this unit. You can't see that very well, but trust me. Let me just zoom in here a little bit for you. There we go. This is a 7-14, 7 attack, 14 defense, 5 attack, 3 defense. Every time you take a step loss, you're reducing both the numbers, but when you reach the number, you can't see. Shit, poop. Let me hold this up so it's a little bit more legible here. Come on. So we take step losses in every combat. No matter what, you're going to lose a step. And once we hit, so we lose value out of both sides on the combat value of 7 and the defense value of 14. We're going to lose, for every step we lose, we'll -1 from both of those. But we die or remove the counter from the board once we get to 0 on that 14. Which means that we'll be 0 on the combat effectiveness of the unit well before we lose the unit, so they can defend but not attack. So we're going to attack in there because this guy is at a 2, and if I get one more hit on him, then he will die. And that will help Ternopil here, which is a victory city. It'll slow down the assault there, despite the fact that there's a whole bunch of extra units coming. So we will do an attack here. We'll just put a little flag or arrow there so I don't forget. I've got an interesting situation down here near Stanislavov. These guys have, that's actually a 6. They have one step left on that core, and they have bloodied themselves on this bridge here. It's been just a disaster for the Russians on this particular front, and now they're isolated and they basically can't do anything. So I've totally screwed up this section of the map. I am going to attack here and put these guys into contact here. I want to wipe this unit out, and I need to finish this guy off down here as well. So we're going to do an attack here and an attack here. I need to pull back on this segment of the map here, because these guys can potentially be isolated in the next turn if they're not careful. Stacking is enforced at all times, so if I'm going to move this guy out of the way back down this south towards the river, I'm going to need to move this dude out of the way first. And I'll use strategic movement, so that'll just give me some extra movement points. And the infantry for the Germans moves 6, and it's 1 on the road. So probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's probably actually right to here, 6 to there. And then we'll pull this dude back. He's taken a bit of a beating. He's got 4 step losses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here. I've got to keep a buffer. I need to manage to keep units on the northern side of the river. That's what the Germans need to do, and the Soviets need to kill everything on the northern side of the river. All right, so that's 2 attacks there. Down on the southern side of the river, we do have a little incursion by the Soviets, and I want to come and mess with that. That's going to cost me 4 movement points, but I'm going to get this guy out of the way first. So I'm going to move this dude back 1 to here. That's going to cost me 3 movement points. This is 4 and 8. And I have a bug flying around, so if you hear me swiping at things, that's what's going on. So that guy's going to attack, and that'll kill that unit. Oh, no, it won't. Crap. Oh, well, I'm in now. Let's just do it. Same here. This is tricky here. I don't really want to fight, but I have to slow down this advance. I need to hold out for another 4 turns down here, which I think I can do pretty easily. So I got to be careful about frittering away pointless attacks. It'd be nice to weaken up this unit here, because he's a 17-9, but he's lost 3. So he only defends with a factor of 6. I could put 20 on that and get a 3 to 1 on him, which is almost the highest odds. The highest odds is 4 to 1. And I would then have a 50% chance of forcing a retreat. Which, because he's got units behind him, he'd have to move back here, I guess. Back here. I'll have to think about that. Yeah, I think we will. The 3 to 1's pretty good. All right. These guys are a mess. I'm going to push them up 1, 2, and then 3 more into the woods there. Makes it something like 5. This guy, I'm going to push him to here. And then up here, you can see we've got another big force approaching us. Oh, hey, we've got a few people watching, so welcome. I've kind of talked to myself here. I really wasn't paying attention to the screen. So please say hi and let me know who's watching, so I can at least give a shout out to some of the regulars. Right, this 2814 is a beast, and I really don't have a lot to slow that guy down. But we can chip away at some of these other fellas, maybe. No, not really. It may be time just to abandon this post here. I think I can make 4 turns. I think we can make 4 turns. Let's do this. 2, 4, 8 to there. 1, 2. Shit, I'm going to move this guy first because I can't move through the stacking. Okay. 1, here, strat move. 1, 3, 5. 5, 7 to there. Actually, we'll pull this guy back 1 more to here. Yeah. Okay. That might be it for the movement phase. And let me just check something real quick in the rules. Make sure I'm telling you the right things here. Yeah, that's right. So I mentioned earlier on that we choose to move or combat. And that's the Soviets that do that. The Axis player actually just moves and then he fights. He gets that benefit, whereas the Soviets have to actually make a choice. Hey, Manish Mofo and Supersport and Half-Ass Gaming, what's going on? Good to see you guys. Excellent to see that we've got Civil War action going on. Well, Supersport, I'm sorry to hear that you don't have any friends who are alive that can play. That kind of sucks. You're like the Omega Man. Or the Omega Man, depending on where you come from. All right, let's roll some dice. So let's start. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And let's get over to the action over here. This little stack, setting the camera on pieces. Here we go. Let's do this combat here first. So, Turnipole, I've got 7 coming in versus 3 minus 2 is 1. So it's going to be a 7-to-1 attack. So the neat thing about this is it's a 4-to-1 is the maximum on the combat table. So I'm going to show you the combat table very carefully. There's the combat table right here. It's out of focus, but you get the idea. All right. And what happens is we take the delta on the odds where this is a 7-to-1 and I've got 3 left over, and we're going to use that as a DRM. So I roll a 5, which means 6 is the highest on a 4-to-1. So that's going to be a 1-4. So that's an overkill. We're going to smash that guy. He goes off the board. That's 3 VPs for the Germans. We'll actually take that advance there because we want to try and help hold this town just for a little bit longer. So that's the first attack out of the way. And hey, Richard, good to see you, man. Thanks for joining in. I wasn't going to do this attack here, was I? Should I? I've got 10 on. I've got 9 on 7. And it's ISO. Oh, that guy's out of supply. We missed him. That's going to give me a plus something DRM. How much? Let me just check that. I think it's 2 or is it 1? 2 or 1? Or nothing. Maybe it's just isolated units that get that. Yeah, glad I could find the rule. Where is the freaking rule? No modifier. Okay, be like that. So we're over here now. I'm looking at doing this attack. No modifier, so we're not going to do it. We'll jump down to here, right below the camera, right here. And I've got 14 and 12, 14 and 10. Hey, actually, no, I don't. Surprise. I have 8 and 10. It's 18 to 5, 3-to-1. Out of supply, no DRM. I roll a 4. What I say, 3-to-1, 4. He's going to take 2 step losses. He needs to retreat as well. So that puts him to a 6. He's in a zone of control. That's going to make it 7. I need a 7. Where's a 7? Sigh, come on. 19s, 7s. He's a 7 here. Okay. He goes up to a 7. And he ends up in a zone of control. What happens then? I keep forgetting what happens with this Zox. I think he has to move another hex. I don't believe he loses another step. I will do that. I'll put this on top of him. And I'll put a little marker on him. And we'll look it up later so that we can just keep the game rolling here. And keep something happening for you versus you watching a screen and me reading rules. All right. Down here, I've got a Tiger Battalion supporting the attack. It's going to give me a DRM of +2. Yeah, because I'm in supply, so that's cool. Even though I've lost 2, they're down to 1. Oh, they're down to 2. Okay, so either way, it's going to be a 5-to-1 attack. So that's the long and the short of it. 5-to-1 +2. It's a 4-to-1 attack because that's the maximum. I get the +2 for that and 1 for the delta in the odds. I roll a 3. Can't see it. There you go. I roll a 3. So it's going to add 3, make it a 6 on the 4-to-1. He is dead. So he killed an armored core in 1944. Not because the game's broken, but because Daddy is a bad player. First time playing this game. I would play the Russians very, very differently next time around. And if we get to a moment when we can chat, I will do that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep going here. We'll finish off the German turn, and then we'll call it bygones, and we'll have a little chat afterwards if you want to hang out for a bit. We'll just do a quick 5-minute capsule on the game, on strategy for the game. Okay, so I've got a couple of attacks that we can potentially do here. So I said I was going in here at 10 versus 2. It's 5-to-1, so it's going to add 1 to the die roll. But he's in rough. Ah, shit, and I rolled a 1. Rough is going to do something. Rough is going to cause a -2. So 1 is a 1, so it is what it is. This guy pops up to a 2, and he takes 1 as well. We need to find a 1. So that was a disastrous attack, even though we did knock a step off there. Go away, little bug. I will kill you. Missed you. Okay, so that attack is done. And let's see. We're going to do this attack down here as well. That looks like it's out of focus to me. But that's just me. My eyes are crappy today. 9 is the defense. -3 is 6. I have 9 and 9 is 18 to 6, 3-to-1. No mods. Oh, roll a 5. Nice. 1, 2. So he's got to lose 2. That pops him up to a 5. And he's got to retreat 1. So he'll retreat to here. That means he's almost combat ineffective. Well, actually, no, it doesn't. Because he's... Yeah. Let me do this. Here we go. 5 from 9 takes him down to a 4 next time for defense, but it also takes 5 off of his combat value down to a 12. So that's rendering him much less effective than he was. But anyway, he retreats 1 back to there. And I can advance if I wish to. I don't want to. I want to stay right where I am. And be happy in that knowledge that I am sitting pretty there. All right. Now, next thing we do, so that was combat. The next phase in the game turn is going to be German mech move, or they call it mobile move. There's a few translation challenges here with this game. And I shouldn't call them challenges, they're idiosyncrasies, I guess. So, they're minor, right? Just instead of saying unit, they say formation. Instead of saying mechanized, they say mobile. Little things like that. Right, so mech means all armor can move. I will pull back from here. I might actually... no, I won't. I'll stay right there. Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, but I'm online. What's up? Well, I'm not going to do that right now. Real life intervening in live streaming. How about that? And okay, so now let's do the rest of the mech move. I'm not going to move any of these guys here because they're in the positions I want them in. But up here where we knocked out all these units, now we can do a couple of different things here. We could do a follow on and isolate this guy again and potentially really put the hurt on him. Or we can prepare to move back towards the line here, towards the river line. Or we could cross over and we could start messing with all these guys that are isolated, and that could be beneficial to us as well. So there's a couple of different things, a couple of different choices that we have. I'm really not sure what I want to do. I think the Germans are actually in a pretty strong position at the moment. So I don't want to do anything too egregious to upset that. And these guys, there's no recovery of steps. So this guy's done, right? He's almost at half losses, having taken 6 step losses out of a possible 14. So, by the same token, I could really run amok over here too. Look at this little line of weak divisions, and this is where I think part of the game kind of falls apart a little bit. We're dealing with daily turns here, and being able to wipe out a division every other turn seems a little far-fetched to me. And I'll show you what I mean. Now we might end up regretting doing this, but I'm going to drop into strategic movement mode. Let me see if I can do this. I get 8 movement points doubled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So I can get to here, 12 movement points. The Uber passes, right? I'm going to sit pretty right there. I'm going to move this dude to here. These guys, as infantry, only have 5 movement points. So for them to try and encircle me, they can't actually get there. So 2, 4, and then that'd be 6 to there. So they can't reach me because each clear hex is 2 movement points, not 1. It's only 1 on the road. So he really can't be encircled, 2, 4. So he's safe there, but next turn, and he's actually probably going to be okay to be in supply as well, because 1, 2, 3, 4, he'll be in supply. So I tell you what, just to make sure he is safe, I'm going to push this division up the road. Oh, I can't get by. Well, I'll use this guy. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9 to there. We'll just move him to there. A little bit of insurance, and then I'll push this guy up as well. I didn't move him last turn, I don't think. Never mind. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do with that mobile movement. And that's pretty much the German turn. And so you can see in 23 minutes, we've kind of cranked through a turn. The Germans have only lost 4 or 5 units. The Russians have lost a lot of units. So let's just quickly check in on commentary here. Hey, there we go. We've got some guys in. Good to see you guys. Hey, Texas Gamer. All right, so I've got to be careful how much I share here because I'm actually going to play this opposed in a week or 2, and I don't want to give away kind of my game plan that I might use. But I think there's clearly an opportunity here for both sides to peck away at the fighting capacity of each side here, and it really does end up becoming a pretty heavy attrition-based battle. And I think the Soviets have to do some clever things with how they use their units so that they basically have some fresh stuff coming in all the time. But anyway, look, that's mostly all I wanted to share with you. I just wanted to show you half of a game turn. I'm not going to do the Soviet turn right now. Sounds like I need to go upstairs and order a t-shirt. That sounds like it's very important. So I'm going to have to break off here. May catch you guys in a little while, but the next thing I'm going to probably turn my attention to this evening, once I finish the Soviet turn and wrap up turn 8, is we'll get stuck into some MBT. And we'll do that. I might jump on live and do that Although I may want to have a cocktail, which means could get kind of sloppy, so we may not do it live. All right, talk to all you soon, and thanks for checking in. Looks like we just got a few people joining in. Sorry, you caught the tail end. Press rewind, you'll be able to see the whole thing. Everybody take care. Talk to you soon.